More than just blockbuster movies, the MCU has grown to become a global obsession. It made stars out of its actors, but not all of them walked away with fan love. While some became legends, others sparked backlash. Here's the real story behind the most loved and most hated faces in the Marvel Universe. Robert Downey Jr. If there's one name that immediately comes to mind when people talk about Marvel, it's Robert Downey Jr.
To indentured servitude or prostitution.
His transformation from a troubled star to the face of a billion-dollar franchise is nothing short of legendary. His portrayal of Tony Stark, the brash yet brilliant billionaire behind Iron Man,
You're not the Mandarin. Are you? Are you?
so electric that it essentially became the foundation upon which the MCU was built. The gadgets. It was about the man inside the suit. Downey brought humor, pathos, and complexity to a character who could have easily been one-dimensional. Fans saw a man wrestling with his demons while trying to do good, and they loved him for it. Off-camera, Downey's reputation for being thoughtful and generous only added to his appeal. Zoe Saldana once shared how he sent her a care package when she fell ill on set, a gesture that showed his kindness wasn't limited to his on-screen persona. Chris Evans. Next to Downey, Chris Evans emerged as another beloved figure in the MCU through his portrayal of Steve Rogers,
Avengers Assemble!
better known as Captain America. While the character's moral righteousness could have made him stiff or dull, Evans breathed life into Rogers by portraying vulnerability, conviction, and a sense of responsibility that felt genuine. MCU lovers didn't just see Captain America as a super soldier.
I was in Germany and saw a man standing above everybody.
They saw him as a man trying to do the right thing in a world that kept changing its rules. Off the screen, Evans' charm only deepened his connection with audiences. Whether it was his goofy posts with his dog or his vocal support for social issues, Evans proved himself to be just as noble as the character he played. Chris Hemsworth. Chris is that Australian heartthrob who swung into the MCU as Thor and swept us all off our feet.
Next.
His early outings as the God of Thunder were grounded in Shakespearean drama, but it wasn't until his more comedic turn in Thor, Ragnarok, that audiences truly fell in love with him.
A source of strength.
It's too late, she's already taken Asgard.
Hemsworth's knack for blending power with self-deprecating humor gave Thor a new lease on life and made him one of the franchise's most fun and enduring characters. Fans also appreciated his approachability and the hard work he puts into maintaining Thor's larger-than-life physique. He doesn't take himself too seriously, and that makes him all the more endearing. Samuel L. Jackson. Samuel L. Jackson, on the other hand, didn't need to play a flashy hero to win hearts.
The world has gotten even stranger.
His portrayal of Nick Fury, the enigmatic strategist behind the Avengers Initiative, was marked by a cool-headedness that demanded attention. Jackson's cinematic gravitas and razor-sharp delivery turned what could have been a minor character into a cornerstone of the universe.
Mothballs with a couple of old friends. She's dusty, but...
Known for being both prolific and professional, Jackson brought his distinctive style and commanding presence to every scene. He didn't need superpowers to be iconic. He just needed an eye patch and that signature glare. Scarlett Johansson. The Black Widow has long been one of the MCU's most nuanced characters.
Has Captain America trading cards yet?
Trading cards.
They're vintage. He's very proud.
Natasha Romanoff wasn't just a spy or an assassin. She was someone with a tortured past, a dry wit, and a desperate need for redemption. Johansson gave the role layers of emotion and complexity, turning her into more than just a sidekick in a male-dominated team.
It's from a movie that was really popular.
Despite the late arrival of her standalone film, fans remained loyal, celebrating Johansson's ability to balance toughness with empathy. Her off-screen life reveals even more dimensions. She's a talented singer and artist in her own right, with a flair for reinvention that mirrors her character's adaptability. Zoe Saldana. If there's one reason we love Zoe, it's for the fierce grace she brought to Gamora.
You have the bearing of a man of honor.
The green-skinned warrior in the Guardians of the Galaxy films. Gamora wasn't just a fighter. She was someone learning to break free from her traumatic past and embrace new bonds. Saldana's portrayal helped humanize a character that could have easily been reduced to a visual effect.
Touch me, and the only thing you're gonna feel is a broken jaw.
What made her even more relatable was how she connected with fans off-camera. From sharing behind-the-scenes anecdotes to uplifting messages, she forged a bond with the audience that extended beyond the screen. It also helps that she's a classically trained ballet dancer, lending her fight scenes a rare elegance. Sebastian Stan, known as Bucky Barnes or the Winter Soldier,
Bucky? Who the hell is Bucky?
Stan offered one of the most emotionally charged performances in the MCU. His arc from loyal friend to brainwashed assassin to a man seeking redemption was nothing short of haunting. Stan's ability to convey inner turmoil with a mere glance made Bucky one of the most compelling characters in the franchise. His European roots, dedication to acting, and grounded personality only strengthened his rapport with fans. He didn't just act out a redemption story, but made viewers feel it as well. However, not everyone has walked away from the MCU bathed in applause. For every fan favorite, there have been those actors and characters who stirred up controversy or failed to win over audiences. Sometimes it was the actor. More often it was the writing. Either way, the backlash was real. Mickey Rourke. Take Mickey Rourke, for instance. His role as Ivan Vanko, also known as Whiplash in Iron Man 2, promised complexity but delivered disappointment. Rourke, a talented actor with a gritty edge, reportedly put a great deal of effort into the role, even visiting Russian prisons for research. However, the final result felt watered down. The character was underdeveloped, the motivations unclear, and the storyline rushed. Fans were frustrated not because Rourke was bad, but because the film squandered what could have been a memorable villain, Christopher Eccleston. Similarly, Christopher Eccleston's Malekith in Thor. The Dark World became a poster child for weak MCU antagonists. Despite Eccleston's experience and acting chops, Malekith ended up being a flat, forgettable villain. The movie itself is often ranked near the bottom of the MCU ladder, and Malekith's lack of depth played a big part in that. It's a classic case of poor writing dragging down a capable actor. Erin Kellyman. Her turn as Carly Morgenthau in The Falcon and the Winter Soldier also sparked debate. The intent behind her character was clear. She was meant to be a revolutionary with a cause, someone who sees the world's injustices and acts on them. But the execution left many fans cold. Why? For many, the storyline felt muddled, her motivations underexplored, and her moral ambiguity confusing rather than compelling. Kellyman's performance wasn't the problem. It was the structure around it that failed to support her. Anthony Mackie and Don Cheadle. Despite being respected for their solid performances, these two haven't escaped criticism. Mackie's Sam Wilson, or Falcon, has often been labeled as underwhelming. But it's not due to lack of talent, but due to inconsistent characterization and limited spotlight. There's hope this will change with Captain America. New World Order, where he takes center stage. As for Don Cheadle's War Machine, many fans feel he's been underutilized for years. Despite being a seasoned actor, Cheadle's role often feels secondary, with little narrative weight. Behind these reactions lie deeper truths about what shapes fan sentiment. Writing and character development are huge. A well-written role can turn a relatively unknown actor into a sensation, while poor scripting can dull even the brightest stars. Screen time and story impact matter too, and audiences connect with characters who leave a mark, who evolve, and who make decisions that ripple through the story. Off-screen behavior also plays a role. Actors who engage meaningfully with fans, who are humble, funny, or passionate about their work, tend to be loved more fiercely. There are also fun, often overlooked facts that give fans more reasons to adore their favorite MCU stars. For instance, Tom Hiddleston, the mischievous Loki, isn't just a comic book villain. He's a classically trained Shakespearean actor with a dramatic range that few can match. One of his most memorable theater moments involved a blood-drenched monologue delivered while soaking wet in a shower, revealing the depth of his theatrical roots.
This is so unlike you, brother. So clandestine.
Scarlett Johansson, meanwhile, has 2 albums under her belt, proving she's more than just a screen siren. Benedict Cumberbatch, known for his icy cool as Doctor Strange, once talked his way out of a real-life kidnapping attempt in South Africa. Then there's Paul Rudd, the ageless wonder behind Ant-Man, who's been trolling Conan O'Brien for years with the same bizarre movie clip from Mac and Me every time he goes on the show. Besides, can any of us forget Zoe Saldana's early years as a ballet dancer? That elegance bleeds into her action scenes, giving Gamora a dancer's poise amid chaos. These behind-the-scenes tidbits remind us that the actors are as layered as the characters they play. They have pasts, passions, and peculiarities that make them human, accessible, and infinitely more interesting. So why do some MCU actors receive love while others are pushed aside or criticized? Frankly, it boils down to a complex mix of factors. While some are in their control, many are sadly outside it. It's about the quality of the writing, the depth of the role, the chemistry with other actors, the decisions made by directors and producers, and the way these performers present themselves to the world when they're not in costume. In some cases, fans attach themselves to an actor because they see a bit of themselves in that portrayal. In others, they turn away when they feel the character's journey lacks meaning. At the end of the day, the MCU is a massive storytelling machine, powered by more than just capes and explosions. It thrives on emotion, on the little human moments nestled between the epic showdowns. And the actors are the lifeblood of that machine. They bring the heroes and villains to life, and in doing so, open themselves up to both admiration and critique. Yet it's this very duality, this passionate spectrum of fan response, that keeps the MCU alive, evolving, and endlessly talked about. Which actor do you think ought to have been on our list? Share your thoughts in the comments below. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you at the next one.